The Baddow hoard fills a big gap. We've got Bronze Age, we've got Stone Age, we've got the Roman stuff, but there was nothing that we could pin down as being Iron Age. It's a very difficult thing to do. They did not have the sort of settlements. They were a bit more like the Saxons really than the Romans, because they were basically farmers. They were basically people who made very crude pottery. They didn't have the potter's wheel, things like that. There was this big gap in the history of Gallywood and Baddow. So when this hoard turned up, it filled this gap. And I'm talking about between 700 before the birth of Christ and say 43 when we have the invasion by the Romans. In about the back end of 2020, a rumour goes around that someone has managed to find gold. There's gold in their fields.
This is what I wanted to show the court, but obviously they wouldn't let me. But I kept a complete record from the day I found the hoard of everything I found, which included the copper parts of the, I think it's the pot bronze rim, as you can see. I've got whole, it's more, it's like a...
So you're claiming you took a record of where you found it?
Yeah, look, there's a whole look where I found. That's what it was like before I put that into a black line to make sure it's good, safe for the archaeologists.
Did any archaeologists see this?
No, nobody's seen it. There's no things like that.
So why didn't your defence counsel mention that you...
I only spoke to him today.
Sorry?
There's no one...
You've only spoken to your defence counsel today?
Yeah, and online I only met him. That is before I put it into the black bin liner, just to show everybody. Yeah.
And you couldn't produce it as evidence?
No, they wouldn't let me because it's paper. And that's where I kept the bags. The black one has got the archaeology, which I didn't touch. The white bag has all the loose coins in it, because when I dug down to that brass or bronze band, I didn't realise I was chucking all coins onto the top of the field. Because all I was worried about was what was down there.
And why did you take all these pictures and
record
it?
To show the judge. I've done everything for the archaeology. This is all for the archaeology. Look, there's me. That's what I've done. I rinsed them, kept rinsing them, took photographs of me, rinsed them in the sink.
Detectorists fulfil a very big role in archaeology nowadays. You can see them if you watch anything on archaeology. They go over the spoil heaps. Sometimes they're part of what they call the geophys. They will actually go through a field. Any of you who are watching anything on Sutton Hoo will know that they found the Rendlesham village because metal detectorists were recording their finds in particular areas of the Rendlesham forest area. And these finds go to a finds liaison officer and they plot them. So you might only find one bit of a Saxon brooch. Joe Bloggs has found a bit of a Saxon brooch, and they put them together and they realise, hey, these are both in the same area. Then somebody else finds another one and they can build up a picture, and that's why they found the Saxon hall that belongs to the Sutton Hoo burials. It was in a big area of Rendlesham, but that's beside the point. This hoard was slightly different in that it was found by a chap, and I'm not going to talk about him particularly, because instead of taking his find, if you like, to... he hadn't got permission from the landowner. Now, it's important that you go through a system here. There's a protocol. The landowner has to give you permission to metal detect on his land. If you find anything of value, obviously you have to show him what it is. If you find anything, I think it's more than 3 coins of gold, isn't it? It becomes something much bigger, and it has to go to the coroner. And he has to decide whether it's treasure trove or not.
But the magistrate said you hadn't kept any record, and the archaeologist said you hadn't kept any record.
See, that's what some of the coins were stained with copper, so I took pictures of that to show the archaeologists. Now you're telling me, so I'm a person who stole everything, and yet I've kept a complete... And one I sent to the farmer, so-called farmer who isn't, showing the size with a 20p piece. That's some of the coins I took. I've numbered it all the bottom. That's where there's 513 coins. I've marked them. This is what the photograph I took before I put them in the container to hand over to the landowner. Yeah.
So you're saying that this is not the behaviour of a night hawk thief?
Are you seeing for yourself? Why would I keep something like? Why would I keep a whole record of everything I've done? Why would I keep it? You know, is it? I wouldn't keep it because I'm stealing it. I'm keeping it because I know I knew it's such a good thing for the archaeologists. Anything I thought was archaeological for the archaeologists, I put in a black bag, didn't touch it. And they're trying to say I destroyed the archaeology. I didn't, because it's all in that black bag.
Now, treasure trove, there's been lots of laws and what have you, Les probably knows more about it than I do, in which that the actual item is then conserved. If it's been of national interest, it might be offered to the British Museum or something, and the finder and the owner split the money between them. That's how it used to be. Unfortunately, with this, people only became aware of it when it turned up in a picture. He actually wrote an article. There were all sorts of things going on. He produced this article for the magazine The Treasure Hunter. And that's actually a fascinating magazine, if any of you want to have a look in them, because it shows you all sorts of stuff. But he wrote this article. This is a picture. They very kindly gave me permission to use this of what the hoard was. Now, obviously, being rumour and conjecture going on, the value or the number of coins went from, something like 1,000 to 3,000. Everybody was talking about what it might be. But it turned out that the landowner hadn't given permission, and the story behind the finding ended up with this chap being taken to court, because basically he had not declared it to the coroner.
I couldn't say anything in court in my defence. There's a lot to say, so I don't know. At least
do you feel fairly judged?
Yeah, fairly judged in some of it, but it was too, how can I say, there's too much I wanted to say that they just didn't even listen to me.
But do you feel you were judged rightly, really?
I judged fairly.
You put your hands up for theft, didn't you?
Yeah,
you put your hands up.
First for 23 coins, which I kept, but when they said I never contacted the coroner except for the find I found, I've kept it. I've done a complete record of the find for the archaeologists. I thought I'd done it all right, and they wouldn't even look at it,
So it was all a bit of comedy of errors then? It was all
because they wouldn't allow me to do things, I've done what I thought was right. That's what started it all off.
So you saw a buzzard being mobbed?
Being mobbed by some magpies. I was just out with the binoculars, and saw a buzzard being mobbed by some magpies. As I went towards it, obviously it went, feather come down, picked the feather up. As I was like just studying it, being a bit of a anorak like I am. Yeah. Someone just caught the eye, went down, thought it was a washer, a gold coin.
And you've never found anything like this before?
Not gold, no, I found Roman stuff and things like that, And then, but
you have declared all them, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not hoard. You have to have a
hoard is only more than 2 coins.
But you put your hand up about...
the 23, because what happened when I handed the coins